So welcome back. We are going to now have the part 2 of nuclear deal. As you know, the previous part we have seen what India is going to get under the nuclear deals. That's what the three things which I have explained, that this is the fuel, the technology. Technology is again having two dimensions, one being the nuclear reactors and the other being the ENR technology. But equally important aspect is what will be the obligation of India. If we can generally see, the obligations are three, that is separation plan, including safeguard agreement, nuclear liability act, as well as the additional protocol. Now the first thing is, what is separation plan and the safeguard agreement? Now in that case, there is one body under United Nations, that is IAEA. That is International Atomic Energy Agency, and IAEA is the specialized agency of United Nations. And the job or the role of IAEA is to promote the peaceful use of nuclear technology. And this IAEA later on drafted and evolved NPT, that is Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. And this NPT, which came into force, what it has done, it has basically classified countries into two groups, that is the nuclear weapon state and the non-nuclear weapon state. Actually, we need to know all this stuff, then only we can understand safeguard and additional protocol, otherwise they will just remain some words to us. So NPT basically has classified countries into two. One, a nuclear weapon state. These are 5 countries, that is US, UK, China, France, Soviet Union earlier, now Russia. Why these 5 countries are the nuclear weapon states under NPT? Because they acquired nuclear weapons before 1970. Why 1970 is important? Because in 1970 NPT came into force. Okay, fine. Then the other class is non-nuclear weapon state. Non-nuclear weapon states, those countries which were not having the nuclear weapons at that point. So, what is one of the aspect of NPT? NPT basically has got 3 pillars. First pillar is non-proliferation. Non-proliferation means no country should transfer nuclear weapon technology to some other country. And another pillar is peaceful use of nuclear technology. Now what is the meaning peaceful use of nuclear technology? And third pillar is disarmament. Now here my first focus or my only focus is what we call as peaceful use of nuclear technology. According to NPT, those countries who are non-nuclear weapon states and they sign this treaty, which treaty? NPT, they are allowed to have the peaceful use of nuclear technology. But then, those non-nuclear weapon states who have signed NPT and are looking to have the peaceful use of nuclear technology, they have to sign one more agreement, and that agreement is what we call as the safeguard agreement. What is safeguard agreement? Safeguard agreement basically is this, that IAEA will have the powers and authority to carry out the inspection of those sites where that particular country is using the nuclear technology. Means the country, like say for example Iran. Iran is a non-nuclear weapon state. And when Iran has signed NPT, then by that Iran was entitled to have the peaceful use of nuclear technology. But then at the same time, Iran is having one obligation as well. What is that obligation? Safeguard. What the safeguard says? That Iran should allow unrestricted access to IAEA to its nuclear sites. This is what the safeguard does. What is the purpose of safeguard? The purpose of safeguard is to prevent the weaponization of the civilian nuclear program. That is the purpose of the safeguard agreement. Okay, fine. So what India was supposed to do, but India, now obviously we are discussing about NPT, nuclear deal, and we are talking about Indian obligations. So let's come to the first part. India has not signed NPT. So when India has not signed NPT, then obviously peaceful use of nuclear technology is going to be an issue. So obviously India has never said that it is ready to sign NPT. So this formula which was worked out was this, that India will go for a separation plan. Separation plan means India will classify its nuclear facilities into two groups. One group is civilian and the other group is military nuclear facilities. And those which are civilian will be brought under the safeguard agreement. Safeguard agreement with whom? With IAEA. So India will sign. India first go for separation plan. Separation plan means classifying its nuclear facilities into two groups, civilian and military. Now some of you might be wondering, what is the criteria? The criteria is those nuclear facilities where the fuel is indigenous and the technology is indigenous, that will be placed by India under the category of military, and where the fuel is imported and the technology is imported, or the technology is imported, that they are under civilian category. And obviously that has been only for peaceful use, and they have to be brought under the safeguard agreement. So India committed in 2006 that by 2014 it will complete the separation plan. So that has been done by us. So that was our first commitment which we have fulfilled on time, or that other, you can say that was our obligation. What is the other aspect of this thing? The other aspect of the nuclear deal, or as far as Indian obligation is concerned, is this, that India was supposed to pass one law known as Nuclear Liability Act 2010, or a law to define the liability. What is the meaning liability? The meaning of liability is who is going to be responsible for the compensation in case of a nuclear accident. So in that case, India passed this law, Nuclear Liability Act 2010, also known as Civilian Nuclear Liability Damages Act, Civilian Nuclear Liability Damages Act 2010. So this law has been passed. Details of this particular law we will see later on. And last but not the least, India has also signed this was the second obligation. Third obligation which India has fulfilled is the additional protocol. Now what is additional protocol? Additional means in addition to safeguard. Now when I was discussing with you people about safeguard, that what I said, that Iran being a non-nuclear weapon state and it has signed the safeguard agreement, it has signed the NPT. As a result, it was entitled to have the right to peaceful use of nuclear technology. But for that, Iran has to sign safeguard agreement. And under safeguard agreement, Iran will specify the locations where it is going to use the nuclear technology. This is one part. But it is quite possible that Iran may not specify the locations, or Iran may hide some of the locations where it is having the nuclear technology, and if it is hiding, that means it is going to be for weapon purpose or military purpose. That means safeguard is not really good enough to prevent the weaponization of the civilian nuclear program. And exactly the same thing happened. In 90s, it came to light that North Korea and Iraq It is Iraq, not Iran. Both of them were members of NPT. Both of them have signed safeguard. Means their nuclear facilities were inspected by IAEA. Despite that, they were able to divert their program towards the military purpose. That means they started the weaponization of the nuclear program. In that backdrop, IAEA announced a program 93 plus 2. What is the meaning 93 plus 2? It was announced in 1993, and the mandate was work out a new mechanism which should address the weaknesses of the safeguard in 2 years' time. That is why 93 plus 2. 93 is year, 1993. 2 year means in 2 years' time you should work out the solution. And the solution which was worked out is additional protocol. What is the purpose of additional protocol? The purpose of additional protocol is to increase the presence of IAEA in the nuclear program of a country, so that the probability of the diversion of this program towards the military purpose is being minimized. So what about India? India agreed that it will sign additional protocol after this deal was signed between India and US. But India waited till 2008 because in 2008 nuclear supply group allowed the transfer of technology to India. But India refused to sign on the original additional protocol. Reason being, that protocol or that additional protocol was too intrusive, and that would have adversely affected the military program of India. In the process, India negotiated its own or a unique additional protocol with IAEA, which is one of the weakest. Weakest is bad from the international perspective, good from the Indian perspective. Weak additional protocol means India will have very less obligations, means the military program will not be adversely affected. So India has signed the additional protocol, although a weak one. That is what the 3 requirements India was having. In addition, these were the 3 requirements which India was supposed to fulfill. In addition, India has already committed that it is not going to indulge in any type of nuclear proliferation. India will not conduct the nuclear test. All these commitments we have already made. Because of this only, these nuclear deals have been possible. Okay, so this is what the deal is. Now in third part of nuclear deal, we will discuss the individual nuclear deals, like Indo-US, like Indo-Japan, like Indo-Australia, like Indo-Russia, like Indo-France, etc. These individual models we will discuss, and then we will carry out the comparative analysis. Thank you very much.